more than meets the eye.
This presentation case is about to start on a mission to tell a story of the sounds that all America hears and heeds.
We react to sound from early childhood. All day long, all through life, sounds are our most common cues for action. Sound follows us around wherever we go. We hear up, down, and all around us. We hear globally. We see only into the wedge of space before our eyes. The influence of sound is buried deep in language. For example, if you overlook something, you miss it. But if you overhear something, you don't miss it. Radio, like sound, is all around us. It's the most far-reaching medium for listening, the most versatile entertainer, the greatest salesman. Radio is the only advertising medium that doesn't tie you down. It's upstairs, downstairs, in the kitchen, in the car, beside beach chair and hammock. Research people tell us that less than half of all radio listening is in the living room. More than a third is in the kitchen, 12% in bedrooms, and the rest in dining rooms and dens, automobiles and public places. Radio not only goes everywhere, it comes from everywhere.
This is George Herman in Tokyo. The big story in this part of the world today
Tutorials in the Paris soir. And that's the news as it looks from Paris. This is David Schoenbrunn, returning you now to New York.
Wherever radio goes in time or place, the listener's mind is its own theater. It creates its own colorful costumes and sets, the perfect gown for Scarlett O'Hara, the brooding castle of Wuthering Heights, the sunny schoolroom of our Miss Brooks, each perfect for each listener. In radio, the listener's imagination also serves the advertiser. For through radio, a prospect pictures a product in terms of his own needs, his own likes and dislikes. The listener easily creates the image desirable for him.
What a perfectly beautiful house.
In radio, the most beautiful house is always one's own most beautiful house.
You're the most beautiful girl in the world.
Each to his own fancy, and no arbitrary model is ever more captivating.
Good.
The most delicious soup for every taste.
For muscular aches and pains, get soothing relief.
For Junior's lame shoulder, father's stiff neck, mother's aching back. By painting pictures in people's minds, radio wins response. And it wins response through the authority of the unseen voice. For radio is the sum of many voices, a compelling force in people's lives.
We interrupt this program to take you to the Pentagon in Washington for a special bulletin.
The Defense Department has just issued the first list of prisoners of war held by the communists in Korea. Here are the names. George Melkin, Private First Class, Muncie, Indiana. Wife, Mrs. Virginia Melkin. Samuel R. Bartok, Private First Class, Austin, Texas. Mother, Mrs. Mary.
Shalkoff. Is that right, Sarah Shalkoff?
Yeah.
Mrs. Shalkoff, tell us what you saw.
I have lived in Elizabeth, New Jersey, 15 years. Always the planes coming over. I'm afraid.
Well, where were you when the plane crashed?
I was calling out the window my daughter to supper. I saw it hit, and then was fire. It was terrible.
Is this your daughter?
Yes. Oh, thanks God my baby's safe.
Watch out, ambulance.
Thank you, madam. Let's move up and talk to one of the firemen. May I get through?
Radio listeners have heard history and history in the making through 30 eventful years. And in the business of daily living, they tell each other, the radio says it's going to rain, or the radio says it's 9:10, or the radio says wheat prices went up today. The radio says it, and that's a fact. The power of radio to win belief works in the service of the advertiser, for people believe before they buy. Nor is radio's influence limited to one particular market, to families of a certain income group, or place, or occupation. Radio's coverage is greater than the coverage of any other mass medium. It speaks through 105 million radio sets to people in 43 million homes, in 23 million automobiles, and within hearing of 5 million sets in public places. Radio goes wherever there are people. Even within the home, radio is always close by, through 34 million sets outside the living room. People want radio to reach out to them. They keep on buying new radios. Last year, they bought the astonishing total of 10 million new sets, twice as many as refrigerators or television sets or washing machines. Radio reaches out and captures the interest of virtually every family in the land. And in 1952, more people are spending more time with radio than with any other medium. More than 14 million people listen in the middle of the morning, 14 million in the afternoon, 25 million at night. And these totals are conservative, for national rating services regularly measure only about half of all radio sets. But even on this basis, radio reaches prospects at the lowest cost per thousand rate in all advertising, lower than television, newspapers, or magazines. In radio, a whole nation of listeners votes as an Academy of...
Greatly increase the efficiency of our new advertising campaign. Memo to President from Advertising Director.
This is to bring you up to date on our new media plans. Once again, and after fresh examination, network radio seems to give us the best combination of coverage, low cost, and effectiveness. We need these more than ever because of the brand versus price problem we've discussed many times. Shoppers all over the country today are taking a sharp look at prices. If advertising fails to make one brand more appealing than another, the shopper buys by price. In fact, a brand in a market that advertising doesn't reach is no brand at all. As someone put it the other day, a brand is really a state of mind. Advertising creates this state of mind, turns a product into a brand, makes it come alive at the shopper's fingertips. Only then do shoppers buy by brand and not by price. If we want to keep our brand alive everywhere, we need to reach everybody at a low enough cost to reach them over and over again. Radio still offers the best chance to do this. Radio has kept its rates down, while hardly a week goes by that we don't hear of increases from other media. Just now, I'm collecting latest information on each of the networks. But my overall feeling favors radio, because radio gets our product bought by brand in all markets and builds consumer preference and dealer support everywhere.
Early next week, I hope to be able to...
Now, in radio, a whole nation of listeners votes as an Academy of Awards. And there's little question which network has the Oscar. CBS Radio has more top programs, daytime or nighttime, than all other networks combined. In report after report, the industry's top 29 summary gives CBS Radio some 20 of the biggest audience shows on the air. The appeal of this program schedule attracts 1/3 of all network listening in big cities, in small towns, and all across the nation's farmlands. Also, the average audience is bigger on CBS Radio. It's not just that the top programs pull up the average, it's because any program gets a lift as part of CBS Radio's complete lineup. The result is low cost. CBS Radio has the lowest cost per 1,000 listeners in all network radio. And CBS Radio's cost has stayed low, far lower than magazines, newspapers, or television, lower than almost any commodity you can name. Here, for nighttime programs, is CBS Radio's cost per 1,000 trend for the past 8 years, compared with the rising U.S. wholesale price index. In contrast, last year, the cost of reaching 1,000 people through leading magazines increased as much as 35%. Low cost permits advertising frequency, and the changing character of consumer shopping today makes frequency indispensable. You need frequency to pre-sell the 80 million shoppers who go to self-service stores every week. It's frequency that makes the multiple impressions that make sales. All the leadership values of CBS Radio in programs, coverage, and economy are acknowledged by American business. For advertisers invest more dollars to build sales on CBS Radio than on any other network.
P.S. I've just finished taking a fresh look at the various networks, and I'd particularly like you to hear the CBS Radio story.
And so, in the parade of network values, the top programs lead to the biggest audiences, to the lowest costs, to the biggest values in all advertising on the CBS Radio Network.
You're watching Sleepcore. Pleasant dreams.
Hi, guess where I came from? A computer. Me and my hat. And everything else you're gonna see in this film. Computer Visuals presents a new way to create pictures. Synthovision. And now, for you folks in advertising, the aerosol can-can. Now, time for a station break. Next, let's take a ride. A car, please, Mr. Computer.
I'm Michael Strangelove, publisher of the Internet Business Journal and author of the book How to Advertise on the Internet. I'm also a doctoral student at the University of Ottawa, where I'm writing a dissertation that explains how the Internet is an entirely new form of mass communication. On the internet, you've got 30 million consumers today, and in 10 years, probably 500 million consumers. Today is the time to begin to learn how to reach them. Today's the time to begin to learn how to re-engineer your corporation to internet-based communication. What I've tried to do is I've tried to teach the business community how to advertise on the internet in an internet-friendly manner, how to respect the community. Business will do business in cyberspace. Marketing will take place. And it's the business community, it's the advertising industry that will have to adapt and change, not the internet. Everything started for me on the internet about 6 years ago when I wrote a directory of electronic journals and newsletters on the internet. The Association of Research Libraries published it 6 months later. Imagine 6 months from getting on the internet. 6 months later I had my first book out, and as a result of that I was perceived of as being a world expert in electronic publication and scholarly publication on the internet, and got invited to speak around the world about this and wrote some articles. And that was the first indication, or my first experience, of one of the most central dynamics of the internet, and that is its ability to create a career and to create a sense of expertise almost at light speed. Companies can ignore the internet at their greatest peril. You have no choice but to get out on the internet. The internet community is armed with the most powerful force in history, and that is the force of feedback. For the first time ever, you can get pure feedback from your customers. Siberia, like other net cafes, demonstrates how the internet is attracting the attention of the mass media, and also demonstrates how the net is a richly social environment. In internet cafes, people eat pastries, drink espresso, and explore the web together, share discoveries, write email to distant friends, and converse over chat lines. Over a century ago, when newspapers spread across Europe, most people couldn't even afford to buy one single copy. So people went to cafes and coffee shops to read papers that were provided by coffee shop owners. Now today, people that do not wish to buy a computer, modem, and internet account are going to wired internet cafes like Siberia, where you can sip on cafe au lait and surf the World Wide Web to your heart's content. The new breed of internet entrepreneurs are using cyberspace to carve out careers and businesses for themselves. And Siberia represents the first retail outlet of cyberspace. For 25 years, the internet and cyberspace has been hidden from us, the domain of computer geeks and academia. But now, around the world, you can walk down the street and enter into the world of the internet through the coffee house. And as we've seen, the media feeding frenzy that is taking place represents the fascination and the potential of this new second Gutenberg revolution. On the internet, the only way that you can advertise effectively is think in terms of creating community. People want to be part of the content, part of the cyberspace environment that you create. You can't just take a brochure and put it up on the internet. You've got to take that brochure, that advertising text, and turn it into an interactive magazine that people can participate in, people can talk about in internet relay chat areas or news groups, and that people can leave messages and comment on and leave their content and contribute their content. Otherwise, you're going to give them no real reason to return, to participate, to pay attention to your noise in an extremely noisy, crowded environment. I use the web not only for our company, but to put my own personality up there as clearly as I can, and use the multimedia nature of the World Wide Web to put as many aspects of myself up. What I do is I do what I want to do. I be the person that I want to be. I speak in jeans. I sing a song. I put myself up nude on the net. I tell the truth about my marriage and my failed marriage and my struggles in business and my struggles in life. And I think that is what helps make this journey that I've started on much more interesting, both for myself and for the curious people that look into our website to see what the devil's going on. When you create a web page for yourself, whether it's a biography, a personal history, or a resume, you are marketing yourself in cyberspace according to the dynamics of the wired information age. For the cost of an internet connection and a computer, you and I can be out there in cyberspace and put as much information up and create as big as a presence on the internet as Coca-Cola or IBM or McDonald's.
Good afternoon. How are you? Very well. You're looking for Robin, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
Sure. Come this way. Thanks.
Wired magazine and Siberia are cultural icons that both interpret cyberspace and are reinterpreted by cyberspace. Social institutions such as coffee shops and magazines are jacking into the internet and being transformed. Coffee shops are now interfaces to the net, and magazines, to survive, need an online community of readers. The emerging paradigm of cyberspace will certainly restructure all of our social institutions. You know, I don't think that the British have anything to worry about when it comes to competing in cyberspace. You've got entrepreneurs leading the way, business conferences happening. It's quite clear if you want to create a job, change a job, create jobs for other people, or change your entire life, you can do it in cyberspace, and you can do it today.
You're watching Sleepcore, media for insomnia.
Coca-Cola. It's a real thriller. Outrageous cherry chiller. The perfect cherry dash. Gives it extra flash. Drinking to the latest beat. Never heavy, not too sweet. Ooh, cherry Coke. Outrageous, Ooh, cherry Coke. Outrageous.
This evening you've seen just part of today's Chevrolet. The direct result of a corporate investment almost equal to the cost of putting man on the moon. The biggest product leap forward in automotive history. New competitively priced Chevrolets, new fit and finish, new efficiency, new performance, and new value. And just ahead, the all-new Corvette. The Chevrolet One magazine has already called the most advanced production car on the planet. Test drive a new Chevrolet. See what we mean by Chevrolet taking charge.
금성 전자식 VTR 첨단 기술이 첨단 제품을 낳습니다. 금성은 꾸준히 연구 개발한 VTR 첨단 기술을 자랑하고 있습니다. 금성 전자식 VTR 기술에는 인기가 따르고 인기는 기술로 지킵니다. 금성 전자식 VTR 순간의 선택이 10년을 좌우합니다. 기술의 상징 금성.
이 정도 가격에 이만큼 편리한 VTR을 보셨습니까? 금성 풀오토 VTR.
첨단 VTR을 찾는다. 금성 VTR 메리트 88. 리모컨 하나로 올림픽을 예약 녹화. 대막식, 낮프로, 심야 하이라이트까지. HQ 고화질로 훨씬 또렷또렷.
예약 녹화 확실해요?
올림픽 대비용 금성 VTR 메리트 88.
Wherever you go throughout America today, you will find an inviting new look in structures of every kind. Americans are building at what almost seems a fever pitch, whole new communities in the restful countrysides. and whole new business districts, shopping centers with a flair for the dramatic in their architecture, striking new uses of glass, steel, concrete in the building materials. Today's marketplace is an everyday and exciting festival, with every color in the rainbow competing to capture the customer's attention. Not only the structures themselves, but the merchandise, the product packages in so many different shapes and sizes are designed for interest and impact. Displays and related advertising heighten the impact. Offices and industrial establishments are no longer drab and dreary blots on the landscape. They are bold and beautiful, frequently horizontal, and creditable attachments to the surrounding greenery. Outside, as well as inside, the buildings of business and industry reflect the concern of today's management with appearance. And it's strictly the profit motive. Workers work better, enjoy their jobs more, when the appearance of the plant is more attractive. Americans are always on the go, it seems, and roadside businesses of every description must literally stop traffic if they want to capture the customer's dollars. As much consideration is given to the style and design of new service stations as is given to the style and design of new automobiles. America today is style conscious, design conscious. Everything has the inviting new look that makes American life more pleasurable as well as more practical. At home, at work, on the way, and at play, there are evidences everywhere of the clean, crisp, refreshing use of shape, color, texture to enhance our everyday existence. American industry spends more than $500 million a year in styling and designing new products, as well as improving the impact of well-established products. Behind so great and growing a concern with appearance, the man with that extra touch that means more efficiency in sales is today's industrial designer. Tops in the business is Claire Hodgman of the industrial design firm Hodgman Burke in New York. Hello there, Mr. Hodgman. We've just been looking over your shoulder at some of the designs your firm is responsible for. There's certainly a variety of different products.
Yes, that's right. Cameras, projectors, outboard motors, and buses. There's quite a progression from the rough form to the finished sketch form.
Plenty of paperwork.
Yes, indeed. Plenty of paperwork before you arrive at the final results, such as this air conditioning unit.
Actually, what function do you perform for a product or product line?
The purpose of any design is to increase the sales appeal, the merchandising oomph, and you do this in two ways, by increasing the efficiency of the product and by increasing the beauty. Generally speaking, simplification is not only the key to easier operation, but to a more pleasing appearance, something truly in good taste. The crisp, clean design is not only more attractive, more elegant, if you will, but likewise more functional. You can see at a glance what I mean in this new line of Coca-Cola coolers being manufactured by the Vendo Company.
The $1 million line.
That's right, the $1 million line with a refreshing look, designed exclusively for Coca-Cola and accepted by marketing experts in the Coca-Cola Bottlers Association. Simple yet forceful in its selling impact. The top panel is a lighted sign for even greater selling impact, but all the models relate themselves naturally to corners because of the shape, or in banks of machines, side by side. The crisp, clean design is functional too. and the new forward pivoted hinge allows the door to open a full 180 degrees. The line as a whole has what we call design balance, or total design, the proper relationship of appearance and function. Naturally, of course, the industrial designer must always consider the important matter of manufacture. Even the simplest straight line on a mechanical layout calls into being innumerable operations before the final results roll off the assembly line.
It takes years of research and testing to develop trouble-free, dependable coolers. And that new million-dollar line of Vendo coolers for Coca-Cola stems from a quarter of a century of engineering research in the laboratories of the Vendo Company in Kansas City. Here was developed and continually improved the basic revolving disc principle of the veteran V23, still in great demand for small service outlets and still to be manufactured. The Vendo V44, likewise still to be manufactured, and for the same reason. It's a prize location getter. The basic staggered stack and the basic slanting shelf, proved through years of dependable operation, continue with further refinements that make them better than ever in the new line. There's a mountain of blueprints for every new model, specifications for tools and dies from engineering design, before the tremendous punch presses can stamp out the shells for the new Vendo V92 single drink machines. Welding the new V92 multi-drink machines involves the same sturdy precision welding given every other model in the line. Cabinets welded in so many places they can't conceivably get out of shape even when they're twisted. The new V144, like every other model, has a bonderized cabinet with a durable baked enamel finish that retains all of its original luster and eye appeal. The new V90 multi-drink is assured the dependable long life of the Vendo refrigeration unit, heart of the machine. The new V216 single drink receives the electrical harness, nerve center of the machine. The new V144 multi-drink receives the thick fiberglass insulation in door and cabinet. Efficiency and low operating cost packed inside each machine. Here they are, model after exciting model on the final assembly line. The refreshing look becomes a reality. Final inspection of the new V63 multi-drink. On its way to increase cold bottle sales of Coca-Cola, the new V90 multi-drink. Ready to go to work for you. What's this model? Oh yes, the new V126 multi-drink. This baby has real sales appeal, real selling impact. Certainly, every salesman for Coca-Cola will view the refreshing look in the million-dollar line of new Vendo coolers exclusively built for Coca-Cola as the selling opportunity of a lifetime in new sales, in replacement sales, and in competitive sales. How do you feel about it?
All I can say is, let me get out there with the prospects. This refreshing look, exclusive, you say, with Coca-Cola, will make this year's cooler sales the greatest in selling history.
All right. How would you sell that new V63 to a new outlet?
I'd talk profit to the dealer. This V63 is as much a location getter as the V23 and the V44. I'd talk profit and product preference.
Product preference?
Yes, Mrs. Lane. More people buy Coca-Cola than any other trademark soft drink in the world. The people here in your office will welcome the pause that refreshes with ice-cold Coke. It'll make their work pleasanter and more productive Besides, Mrs. Lane, the profit from a Coca-Cola cooler is a right sizable amount. Let me show you.
All right. Here's another salesman for Coca-Cola. How would you sell that new V90 to a new outlet?
I'd talk profit, too. The profit resulting from the traffic created by the cooler for Coca-Cola.
What do you mean, the traffic created by the cooler for Coca-Cola?
Customers for your service station, Mr. Brown, expect refreshment just as they expect good restroom facilities. This new cooler for Coca-Cola will help pull in more traffic and get them out of their cars. And it'll keep old customers coming back again. Besides, Mr. Brown, the sale of Coke can mean a good profit for you. Let me show you.
Profit is the pitch, all right. But when I sell a new outlet, this new V126, I'll sell the service that ensures the profit. Especially in industrial locations, you run into the objection...
Yes, but I'm afraid your machine would be in constant need of repair.
Mr. Baldwin, one of the chief assets of the Vendo machine is the reputation already earned for giving dependable, trouble-free service. Vendo has built more than 500,000 coolers for Coca-Cola and has proved itself through years of top performance in the field. That's one of the reasons there's such a profit in it for you. Just have a look at these figures again.
When it comes to replacement sales, I'll talk plus profit. The extra sales that can come from the eye appeal of the new Vendo V line.
My old cooler works all right. Besides, I don't sell so many soft drinks anymore.
The reason your sales are off, Mr. Morris, is because that old cooler of yours has become sight unseen. Your customers don't even know it's there anymore. The eye appeal of this new cooler will remind them that you're still in the beverage business and will increase your take-home sales, too. The plus profit you make will more than pay for this new machine, and in a very short time.
I agree with the plus profit pitch for replacement sales. The new Vendo line will certainly arouse impulse in the customers to buy more Coca-Cola.
What do you mean, arouse impulse?
A cooler's like a display, Mr. Judson. Or you change it to arouse impulse, to trigger the customer interest and attention. The result is plus sales and plus profit for you. Well, this new machine will certainly sell a lot more Coke every day. It takes only a few extra bottles a day to pay for it. Then, in a very short time, of course, you own it.
Make it easy to buy, I say. Not only for the dealer, but for his customers. The refreshing look of this new machine actually beckons customers to come over, drop in a coin, and enjoy a cold bottle of Coke.
So does my old machine.
Mr. Hopkins, you spent a lot of money this spring painting, fixing up, and remodeling your service station. Why? Because the improved appearance of the place would attract more old customers and more new customers. You were after the plus profit that comes from making people want to stop and do business with you. You made it easy to buy at your service station because of its crisp, clean look. And now this new machine has that crisp, clean look, too. Some talk profit. Some talk plus profit. But I talk perpetual profit, especially when it comes to competitive sales.
I know, but I don't want another cooler in my store. I don't sell enough from the one I have now.
But that's just my point, Mr. Barker. The reason you don't sell enough is because your cooler doesn't feature the fast mover. Coca-Cola is the leader. Coca-Cola is the most asked-for soft drink in the world. Why not let the leader lead you to perpetual profit in your soft drink sales?
But don't forget those secondary sales.
What do you mean, secondary sales?
Tires, batteries, accessories. You're losing those sales, too, when you don't feature the soft drink that pulls in more traffic. Coca-Cola means perpetual profit for you, Mr. Boyd, in every phase of your business.
As a business getter, Coca-Cola is second to none. In any competitive situation, I always sell the reputation of the product.
Yes, but your competitor has made me a pretty good offer.
Pretty good, Mr. Cummings, isn't good enough if you're interested in perpetual profit from a machine. Only Coca-Cola, the leader, can lead you to that. And only Coca-Cola can offer you the machine I sell. It's an exclusive with Coca-Cola, made for us by the Vendo Company, the world's largest manufacturer of automatic merchandising equipment.
Competitive sales, replacement sales, and new sales. In every selling category, Coca-Cola salesmen really have the answers. The refreshing look in the $1 million line of new Vendo coolers exclusively built for Coca-Cola, joins the inviting new look that makes American life more pleasurable as well as more practical. For roadside businesses, the selling impact of the new line is literally designed to stop traffic. In offices and industrial establishments, it provides a thing of beauty and enjoyment, as well as a boost to the morale. Profit plus profit. Perpetual profit. There's good selling for dealers as well as salesmen in the selling year ahead, with new merchandising impact everywhere in the exciting festival of the American marketplace.